Hi everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your 3pm watch-along show. We've also got Manchester United against Brentford tonight at 8 o'clock. But what a prat! What an absolute prat. I mean, I didn't fancy Newcastle against West Ham as a 12:30 kickoff and I missed a 7-goal thriller. I mean, I've seen all the big talking points. I think that you talk about the battle of the title race. What about the battle for the worst referee in the Premier League? Because there may be a few contenders, but if you've not seen what happened today in the Newcastle game, oh my God, absolutely incredible officiating. Yeah, I mean, the Bladinator says the Hammers were robbed. No, I've got to give Newcastle some credit to come back from 3-1 down to win 4-3. But that's never a penalty. It's just never a penalty. Like, Gordon literally puts his leg around Calvin Phillips and Calvin Phillips is going to clear the ball. If Gordon gets the ball, maybe it's a penalty. I've certainly seen them given, but he just puts his foot in the way to get kicked. It's just not... I mean, it's clever by Gordon and it works. But I think the footballing gods were looking down at him because he got sent off then for barely kicking the ball away for a second yellow. Yeah, it's incredible. It's really bad. And look, from Newcastle's point of view, what a comeback. But from a West Ham and a purely footballing point of view, absolute disgrace. Yeah, absolutely just disgusting. And look, we talk about how the integrity of the Premier League title race is going to get damaged by the officiating, and obviously the relegation race will be damaged too. But I think we all, it's happening everywhere. That is just absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And I agree with Guy. If anything, it's a foul on Phillips. So basically what happens is the ball is loose in the box. Calvin Phillips is first to the ball. He's about to kick it and clear it. And as he takes his foot back, Gordon just puts his foot in front of it. Doesn't get the ball, just reaches round and puts his foot in front of Phillips, who kicks his leg. Doesn't, it's just not a penalty. It was just never a penalty. Absolutely abysmal. But welcome to the Premier League, where the officiating is absolute shit. But it's a big win for massive win for Newcastle, actually. Let's have a quick look at the league table. Make sure you smash a like and get involved. We're live for the 3 o'clocks. There's 5 games for us to discuss. But we've also got this for you as well. Take a look at that. We will have all the live scores coming through for you that are live at 3 o'clock. So get involved in that as well. But I don't want to look at the bottom half of the table. I want to have a look at the top. So can I find that to put it in for you? Yes, I can. Put it in. Oh, I've got a funny thing to tell you from last night down the pub yesterday. But that's how the league table looks at the moment. Newcastle with a win put themselves a point behind West Ham with the game in hand. So actually, it does have an impact. I know. We don't necessarily want to talk about the bottom half of the table, the race for like Europa League or whatever, but that's a big win for Newcastle from a situation that has basically been handed to them by a referee. You know what? I agree with you, Flores. He said I would have loved to have seen a watch-along with that Newcastle West Ham match. It would have been spectacular. Mate, I'm fuming. I'm fuming now. I've got no love for West Ham. I don't dislike Newcastle, but it's disgusting. I thought the second yellow card for Anthony Gordon was pitiful. And I thought the penalty, considering it went to VAR and got overturned by VAR, the referee didn't give it on the pitch. He overturned it on VAR. So you've got, a bunch of prats there. Absolute terrible. Bart says, aside from the referees being controversial again, it continues to amaze me how Calvin Phillips is having the worst luck you could ever have in sport. Yes, Bart, if it was going to happen to anyone, it would happen to Calvin Phillips. Of course, he was the one who made the mistake there. Let me just have a look here. What's going on? Doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Let me just copy that. Sorry, I've got a problem with something here, so let me just sort that out. Delete. But yeah, we're live for the 3 o'clocks. You should have the Chelsea team news going around at the moment for you, so keep an eye on that. What we got for Chelsea? No, let me just Let me just sort this out. Sorry. I'll try it one more time. Okay, let me try that. YouTube's fine. It's nothing to do with YouTube. Let me get that there. I've also got to tell you this thing from last night in the pub, which was funny. But let me get that going there. Newcastle on top, says Galax. Daniel Griffiths, thank you very much for your super chat. Yeah, I don't think this is okay. We'll leave that. No worries. Do you and Liam Gallagher still have beef? Says MV23. Don't know. Didn't know we did have beef, to be honest with you. So it's news to me. It's news to me. Tom A. It's news to me, Tom A. Yeah, I didn't know that was the case. Okay, there's the Chelsea lineup for you. That's sorted as well. So let's have a look at the 3 o'clock kickoffs, as you've probably seen going round on the stats carousel, brought to you by OneFootball. Download that for free through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code in the top right-hand corner. Get all your latest breaking football news there. What a weekend of sport. Football, Premier League action we've got for you. We've got 3 p.m. kickoffs for you now. Live an interactive chat reacting to all of that. Tomorrow afternoon, Liverpool-Brighton, and then the big one straight after that. We're live for both. It's Manchester City against Arsenal. Really looking forward to those. So the afternoon kickoffs today, we've got Bournemouth against Everton, Chelsea-Burnley, Forest against Crystal Palace, Sheffield United against Fulham, and Tottenham against Luton. So really, we're talking about, can Chelsea kickstart their season? Can Spurs get back after that Fulham loss? I'd expect them to beat Luton quite comfortably at home. Let me just give you the team news in the Chelsea game. As you can see going round on the screen, Petrovic, Gusto, Disasi, Badashil, Cucurella, Casido, Fernandez, Palmer, Gallagher, Mudryk, Jackson. Against the Burnley side, which is awfully crap, it should be an easy win. Muric, Asenyan, O'Shea, Esteve, De Silva, Larson, Cullen, Berg, Odebert, Amdouni and Foster. You really would not expect Burnley to get anything out of this game today. Would you do a watch along to Man City versus Aston Villa on Wednesday, says Flores? Yes, I think I will, because Man United aren't live till Thursday. So, we're live tonight at 8 o'clock on the United stand, but obviously on the midweek fixtures, that is where we are at the moment. Right. I've got to tell you this. But, we're going to keep an eye on the Chelsea-Burnley game. But, of course, there are others to keep an eye on as well. So don't worry about that. We've got you covered on all the 3 o'clock games, no matter what you're doing. And, of course, a lot of you might be watching them in different countries, etc. So if you want to let us know in the chat and get involved in it, that's what it's all about. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and get involved with that. But, I had a funny experience last night in the pub whereby we were just having a chat with the lads and somebody said, what's the funniest way you've dumped or been dumped before? So get in the chat, let us know. I was also talking on the United stand last night. Well, I'll bring that one in a little bit later. But yeah, what's the funniest way you've been dumped or dumped somebody in the past? Let us know. Somebody in the chat saying that's a bit harsh. I'm not asking what's the funniest way your pet died. I'm not asking you to type in the chat, oh, it was really funny when my cat fell down the stairs and broke its neck. I mean, we're asking about the funniest way you've been dumped. You might not want it to be in that relationship at all. I think the harshest way I've ever dumped somebody is, look, it could be something like, I dumped my ex because I found out she was having it off with her ex. So I went round her house with a packet of sausages and said, being as you like sausage so much, shove that in your mouth, you're dumped, and then just walked away. It could be something like that. I think the hardest breakup I ever had, I don't like dumping people anyway. I am quite, sympathetic, but it just had to end. I was about 14, actually. I remember it quite well. I was 14 years of age, and I just decided I needed to end it. It wasn't going anywhere, and it was exciting at the start, and I'd always quite fancied her, but at the end of the day, the age gap was just too much. She was 39, I was 14, and there were other issues as well. Like it was my friend's mum. And at 14, I wasn't ready to settle down and be a stepdad to my best mate. So I had to end it. It was very educational, but the age gap was too much. So I ended it. I stand by it. I work every Saturday, so I hardly get to watch the Saturday games, but it's always a pleasure to have your watch-alongs to listen to on a Saturday, either here or the United stand, even as a Chelsea fan. Thanks for all the work you do. Up the Ultras, says Zach. Thank you very much, Zach. Hope you're doing very well with that one. No, come on. That age gap's too big, because if you think about it, if I'd have been, by the time I was 25, they would have been 50. I'd want to be out reflex, having a few Jaeger bombs. She'd want to be in bed by 9, having a bath bomb, and it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. The transfer didn't go through. She was too old for the wages she was asking, says Mozan. Yeah, definitely. Try before you buy. Always a good idea. I was dumped over text while I was in school, says Lewis Walsh. Yeah, that's always a cowardly way to do it. Hamish says, I got dumped when I went to disco and I got drunk and kissed the wrong woman. Lucky you only got bloody dumped, Hamish. You could have got punched. Bruh, you didn't cover Newcastle versus West Ham. The game was actual scene, says Chan. Bruh, I know. I know about that. Ryan, thank you very much. Mark, what's your favourite non-Man United kit? Says Sully. Not really giving it a lot of thought, Sully, if I'm being honest with you. But what we at? We're at 2:33, 2:57 here, so we're 3 minutes away. Christian got dumped for a Scouser. Oh, God. That would hurt. I think that's going to hurt any United fan. I got dumped, so before I moved out, I stuffed fish in places she would never look, says Chum. Oh, that's hard, that is. That's hard. What's your thoughts on the new Germany kit, says Glenn. Normally, they're very nice. Very nice. Mango says, dumped my old girlfriend because I found out she was a Birmingham City fan and was a bit of an odd person, says Mango. What was the balance then? She was a Birmingham City fan or she was a bit odd? No, I could live with the fact that she used to like bathing in baked beans and never, but the Birmingham City fan did it for me. I got dumped in school because my stepdad gave me a dodgy haircut, says Mitchell. These are good. I'm liking some of these. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for the early super chats. We're talking, what's the funniest way you've been dumped or dumped before? Or you can bring in stories of other people as well. And we're not doing the funniest way your pet died. That was basically I said, what's the funniest way you've been dumped? And somebody moaned in the chat saying it's a bit sensitive. And I said, it's not. It's funny stories about how you dumped somebody or you didn't dump somebody. We're not talking about how you bloody funniest way your pet died. No, that's not what we're talking about. I don't think I've ever been dumped. Oh no, I did. I got dumped when I was 9. It wasn't I wasn't going out with a 39-year-old. They were 9 as well. Basically, she was going out with my friend at school. We were all 9. And I hate telling stories about when you're 9 because it always sounds noncy, but we were all 9. It's fine. And my mate was going out with this girl. She was the most popular girl in the school, and he was quite popular. And anyway, he was off with chicken pox for 2 weeks, so I moved in. It was tough, actually. It was a bad thing to do because he was my mate, but he was off for 2 weeks. Being off school for 2 weeks when you're at primary school is like being, it's like going to live in Australia. Like it feels a long time, doesn't it? So I moved in. She was, I don't want to say vulnerable and 9. That sounds terrible. I was 9, but I moved in. She liked my jokes and my banter. We started going out with each other, and then next thing I know, she's like dropping it on my toes. Do you want to go out with me? And I was like, well, why not? Why not? And we started going out with each other. It was good. It was good fun. And then what happened is he came back from chickenpox, and she said, I feel it would be bad of me to not go out with him. So she did. He was coming back on the Monday. On the Friday afternoon, he wasn't even back. She took me aside by the trays. You know them tray. Who remembers them trays at school where you used to put your books in and stuff like that, and rubbernicking gang, and not condoms, not at 9. I meant rubbers that you actually rub pencil out with. Bloody hell! I didn't have a tray full of fucking condoms at 9. So anyway, she came over to me and she said, "Look, I think we need to end it." She said, "I really do like you, but we need to end it." I remember this story too well for being 9, don't I? Anyway, I was like, that ruined my weekend. I couldn't even enjoy Baywatch. You know, Pamela Anderson's running down the beach, barely anything on. Couldn't even raise a smile, let alone anything else. Came back on Monday morning and she said, "Actually, I've dumped him. I want to go back out with you." And I thought, oh, it's because of the banter, isn't it? And then I saw him. He had all these chicken pot marks all over his face. So she was ruthless. She was ruthless. She was the Roy Keane of our primary school. She didn't give a shit. Like, she just did what was best for her and said it. So she dumped him. Did you use... Hey, come on. See, Joe wants to know what I was doing at 9. Nonce. Not that funny, but I couldn't stop smiling while she was trying to break up with me, says Ronan. Chelsea has kicked off, by the way. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this. Hi, Mark. Cheers from Buenos Aires, says Ramiro. We amicably separated with my first girlfriend when we were both 17. It was after Germany beat Brazil 7-1. Both her parents and my mum were in the same room. Really bizarre and funny, but it wasn't bad. Wow. What you done? Was she German then? Or did you just get angry about the football? Hi, Mark. I got dumped because I was too rough going in the back door. Oh, Dan. You always take it to the bloody gutter, you. My dad got dumped because he was told he looked too much like Harry Hill and had a dodgy trim upstairs and downstairs, says Nick. And I once got dumped for eating too much popcorn, says Shawshank. Just be you. Not that funny. That would had a massive fight with my cousin and he made me dump his sister, says I. Love it. Look, these are good. These are good. Right, we're keeping an eye on what's going on in the football here, of course. Don't worry about that. We've got all the Premier League games and we're keeping an eye on Chelsea against Burnley, of course. But we are also entertaining. That's what we do. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're talking about what's the funniest way you've been dumped or dumped somebody. Let me know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you this story. It would be career suicide. I'd lose the. I'm very popular with women, and although they only make up about 9% of my demographic, 9% is still considerable. Luton have scored. We've got an early goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's 1-0, and it's 1-0. To Luton Town. Let me just double check. I think it's going to be 1-0. Yeah, there's no VAR at the moment. Ding dong, it's to Heath Chong. It's 1-0 to Luton. And it's in the 3rd minute. Get in there, Chongy. Absolutely lovely. Ex-United player. Ding dong. Get in there, Chong. 1-0 to Manchester, not 1-0 to Manchester United. We don't kick off till 8 o'clock, but it's 1-0 to Spurs. It's 1-0 to Luton. 1-0 to Luton. He saved me there, Chong. I don't want to tell you the story. Yeah, I'm normally quite good at dumping people. Obviously, I would be the dumpee. I would not be the dumped. Look at me. Not only have I got great banter, knowledge, IQ, and looks. You know, with all that, you're not going to get dumped much. So, but I'm normally quite good at it. I think my last relationship I was in, I felt very guilty about that one, but I did it in a nice way. We had a big conversation. Even when I was bored, I kept eye contact. I was just thinking about the 99 season, trying to remember some of the games between September and Christmas, because I remember them all after Christmas until obviously the new camp, but I can't really remember much from September till Christmas. So she was unloading on me. There was tears. I was just nodding my head, and I was really struggling around like August, September. But yeah, I listened. That was the most important thing. Burnley with the free kick here. It's just deflected out for a corner. Are you going to do Villa against Wolves? No, George, because I've got Man United, so I just can't do the turnaround. Got beat up by girlfriend when 14. That counts as dumped. You need to go to the police about that, Michael. equality exists now. I watched a program this week where a woman was beating up a man for 15 years, and he went to the police and she went to prison, and it's about time. You know, it can happen the other way, so don't ever allow that to happen. Charlie George has said, I put my girlfriend and another girl's name who I liked into a hat and picked one out randomly. It was the other girl, so I asked her out and got rejected, says Charlie. You know what, Charlie? For a minute, I thought that was going to end up with a threesome. I was interested. Sahil says, hey, cutie. Yeah, you know. Got her. Jack Stockdale, thanks for being a member for 4 months. Had a friend who tied his pet gerbil to a mini glider attached to the back of his electric scooter. What? Dan V says, this. I'm not finding this funny. This is horrible. Had a friend who tied his pet gerbil to a mini glider. Okay, attached it to the back of his electric scooter. Yeah, flew high until the string snapped, and then we saw the kite disappear over some trees. Gone forever. Fly high, Jerry the gerbil. Go free. I like to think that that gerbil flew for about a mile and then landed in a lovely wood and lived a lovely long life where he had loads of mini gerbils. Yeah, that didn't happen though, did it, Dan? Let's be honest. But that's animal cruelty. I get emails from the RSPCA because I talk about hypothetically I could knock a horse out with a fucking punch. Oh, Dan, that's just absolute animal cruelty. That is. There we go. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Gems, our member, says, I got shot in the head by my boyfriend at 15 with an air rifle. Needless to say, after cleaning up the blood, he was not my boyfriend for long afterwards. And if I know Gems like I think I did, she probably got a pair of pliers and he ain't got any balls anymore. Don't mess around with Gems. Burnley have started off quite well here, by the way. Don't forget, we're keeping an eye on the 3 o'clock games here. Luton are beating Tottenham 1-0 at the moment. We can always switch the game and go over to that one, but at the moment we're sticking with Chelsea, Burnley. It's 0-0 in all the other games. No championship or anything like that today because they all played yesterday. I think Potter would be a good fit for Ajax, says the snail. And Michael Wright says, embarrassing when seeing her years later in work. There we go. And Les says, I called, she lived far away. She didn't say much. At 18, I thought that the breakup was pretty easy. So when she sent me a message saying, I can't believe it, I replied, I know, right? This was easier than I expected, says Les. Oh, yeah, but you know what? That I would be offended by that. If I dumped somebody and they said it's fine, it wasn't working, it's almost like they're throwing it back at you. You don't want that. I want tears. I want disappointment. I want at least a month of mourning that I've dumped you. I don't want you to go, it's for the best, because that's like, oh. In fact, if you get dumped and it really hurts, that's what you should say. You should say, yeah, I have been sleeping with other. Well, don't say that. That's too far. But you could say, I have been watching a lot of porn because you don't. Oh, that's the best one. If you get dumped and you don't want to get dumped, but keep this in your head in the future, right? If you get dumped by the love of your life, and it comes out of nowhere, remember what Goldbridge said. You can still win because it's over anyway. They've dumped you. You're dumped. You're gonna hurt, but you can hurt behind closed doors. So there you are. You get dumped. It's a real shock. Remember this. Say to them, yeah, you know what? I have been watching a lot of porn lately because you don't do it for me. I've been, even like the last time we did it, I had to picture somebody else. So you're probably right. Bye. Leave them with that, and it'll be a head mess. It'll be an absolute head mess. I'm telling you now. Keep it in your head, and then go and cry. Then cry about it. Mark, it ain't funny. He gave me an infection too. I was like a burned piece of lipstick. Oh, shot by Chelsea there. Just tipped over the bar. It was Enzo with the shot. Shashank said he got dumped because my aunt didn't like me with her daughter. So it wasn't the popcorn then, was it? Is it repulsive to be direct and ask girls out, says Nick? I don't know. I'm not a female. So I can't answer that. But, going back to what Jems said there, I've got a corner here for Chelsea, but going back to what Jems says there about being shot in the head with an air rifle, I mean, it's a good job it was only an air rifle. But a mate of mine got shot in the head with an air rifle and it's still stuck in his next to his eye there. They can't take it out because if they take it out, they're worried it'll cause nerve damage. So he's still got it there. But I remember sitting in a caravan once. Yes, I have taken holidays in a caravan. It's hard to... I'm working class. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do it now. But yes, I did take a holiday in a caravan once. I have lived. I've worked in a cheese factory. And yeah, I was sat in this caravan on holiday. And it was a few of us went on a caravan holiday just one weekend. It was about probably 18, I think. And this girl, like, we were just having a bit of banter. And she threw a screwdriver at me because I'd cracked some banter about probably, I don't know, definitely not her weight. I hate that. I think it was probably her hair, which is bad, but it's not as bad as saying weight or face. I think I'd said, like, look at your hair. I'd said more than that, but it was in a banter way. We were in a group, and it was the 90s. You could get away with that sort of stuff. Nowadays, you can't say, I don't think purple suits you. You'd probably get arrested. So anyway, I said something about the hair, and she picked the thing closest up to her and went, "Oh, you're an idiot," and threw this screwdriver. I could see it spinning like that, and it hit me there. I've actually got a mark right on my eye there. It wasn't the stupid thing was it wasn't even the screwdriver end. If it had been, it would have been like a cool sort of... Well, it depends whether it's a flathead screw or a hexagon screw. But no, it hit me at the other end, and it's left like a half moon. You know, like they're circular at the end. It left like a half moon scar there. Nowadays, I could go to the police and say, a woman did this, and they would take them in the cells and interview them. I don't know. Seeing a girl for months, she was staying at mine, says Welber. She used to go places with her best friend until I found it was her boyfriend of 3 years. Filth. Welber, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear about cheating. Nicolas Cage says, I told a friend during football training I might want to break up with my girlfriend. Was about 12. My girlfriend and her mother was working in the kiosk, and he just went and told her in front of her mother. Ooh, embarrassing, Nicholas. I hope you were 12 as well. Yeah, at no point does Nicholas clarify his age. I just want to say I am not condoning noncing. Nicholas, you might want to clarify here because you said you told a friend during football training you might want to break up with your girlfriend. Oh, no, he says he was about 12. My girlfriend... Well, you don't clarify how old your girlfriend was. She could have been 6. If you're going to tell your stories about when you were at school, please clarify your age and their age. Very important. We've got a goal coming in the chat in the Premier League. It's another away one. Luton are leading 1-0 against Spurs, and it's Chong who's scored there. It's also a goal away from home. It's at the City ground. Things going bad to worse there. Crystal Palace are leading from a goal scorer who sounds like he should be in the film Lion King because his surname is Mateta. I'm thinking Akuna Matata, Mateta. Anyway, it's 1-0. And, of course, Ezzy's involved in the goal. He has cut it back. He's got an assist. I've just realised I forgot to do my FPL. But it's 1-0 to Palace as well. So 2 goals in the Premier League so far. Both of them are away goals. There we go. Thanks, Gems. You wonder what people are doing on this chat when they could be doing something else. Matt Ross has got strong suspicions that his girlfriend is cheating. Looking through her phone and found multiple meetups. Next morning, made her breakfast in bed with her phone unlocked. Matt, keep us up to date. And if you need any help, I can give you some tips. Not live on stream. God, I've missed the Premier League, says PSA. I can't wait for Man United tonight. I can't wait for Manchester United tonight. A few people are saying, why won't you tell us about the breakup? Right, okay. This is the worst one I've ever done. This is the worst one I've ever done, and I'm not proud of it. Okay, so I used to be at college. I was about 17 years of age. And on a Friday afternoon in Nottingham, they used to have a couple of pubs called Number 10 and Liberties. And they didn't care how old you were there. You know, I've been drinking there since I was about 6. 16. And after college on a Saturday, on a Friday, we'd all go up to Liberties, and it was £1 a pint. £1 a pint. Anyway, we're sat there having a drink, and my mate's like, "Why don't we stay in town, go to Yates's, make a night of it?" And I was like, "I can't. I've said I'd go out. I'd go back to where I live." The village where I lived, because I'm seeing my girlfriend. And he was like, "Yeah, but you don't even really like her that much." And I'm like, "I know, but you know, it's convenient, if you know. Sometimes it's better to have something than nothing, if you know what I mean." And anyway, he was like, "Nah, you know, you need to dump that. That's not a reason." And I was like, "I can't do it though. I just don't have the confidence to do it. I just don't want to do it." And he was like, "Have a couple more pints and then just ring her up and do it from a payphone." So I did. I phoned up about 5 pints in, and yeah, I don't even want to tell the story. I feel guilty about it to this day, because I actually started quite bubbly. I was like, "I'm in town. I've had 5 pints," and she was like, "All right, don't worry. I'll stay in tonight. You have a good night." I was like, "No, you're dumped. Bye." I feel bad now, all those years later. Never spoke to her again either. That's the thing. If you're watching, she didn't like football, but you never know. I did feel bad about it. Giovanni says you've told this story before, but not everyone's heard it. But no, I literally remember it word for word. It was like, I'd got really, you know, like when you've had a couple of drinks, you can say anything. I was like, right, I'm going to do it. And I remember walking out of Yates's. It was near the market square. They used to have a load of pay boxes. Whacked them all. I wasn't even nervous. I was just really confident. And I was like, "Hello, it's me. How you doing?" She was like, "Oh, take it we're not going out tonight." "No, I've had too much to drink. I'm in town." She was like, "Well, have a good time. I'm just going to stay in." I went, "I will do. Don't worry. You're dumped. Bye." I can't speak. That's the worst ever. And I said to myself the next morning, I'll never do that again. And I never did. Oh, block. Chelsea nearly scored with Palmer. I think we've had an Oh no, I thought Werner had equalised. There was a lot of people talking about Timo. I didn't. Well, like Raddy says, you probably didn't get your money's worth either. No, I didn't. I probably had another. How many minutes did you used to get for 10p? I remember I used to have a girlfriend in Ireland, and I used to have to go down the phone box and ring her up because my stepdad was like, "We're not paying for that." Anyone else have really tight dads or stepdads when they were growing up? I had to use my own bloody pay. I had to walk 5 minutes, even if it was raining, to go to a pay box to ring my girlfriend in Ireland because I'm not paying for it on my phone bill. I mean, it was bloody nothing. I bet it cost nothing. But yeah, I can't remember. You used to put 10p in it. You know, you just got a bloody mobile phone. A mobile phone to us when we were growing up was when somebody nicked the phone box, and they did. They used to put them on the back of a tractor and nick them and then smash them open for money. PSN says, with Stones and Walker injured, do you think we, Arsenal, have more chance? I think both of them will play. Jackson! Oh, my God. Timo Jackson. You can't touch this. He can't touch the back of the net, that's for sure. You've got to say it's a big save by the keeper, but he's about 5 yards out. He's about 5 yards out. Oh, my God. How's he missed that? Who's bad? That is incredible. And that is why Chelsea will never be a big team unless they buy a proper striker. Nick P says, Mark, do you ever worry about exes coming out with dirt now you're well known, selling their stories to the Sun? Well, they'll be lying. We'll do well in the Sun. No, unless tomorrow morning in the News of the World, it's like, I got dumped on the phone by Ruthless Bridge. You already know the story. That's as bad as it gets. Anything else would be a lie. Son's hit the post. In fact, he's hit both posts, says Yo. I think Spurs will definitely come back in that game. Luton have scored too early. Mark my words. Does that song Miss Jackson play through anyone else's head when Nico gets the ball, or is it just me, says Connor? I don't think Stones and Walker will be injured tomorrow. I think they'll both play. Chelsea have scored. It's If that's Disarcy! Oh, get in! Oh, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Whoop, 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 whoop. Goldbridge. Where's Will? WhatsApp. Here we go. He's already in a bad mood because of them yesterday. Disarcy has scored, and I've got him in my Goldbridge. If you're a Goldbridge Saves Football ultra, you'll know what I'm talking about. Basically, we play. The podcast is out on a Tuesday and on a Friday, and on the Friday we have a game called Goldbridge where you have to pick 5 scorers from the weekend, but you also pick a defender. And if the defender scores, you get 3 points. If a normal player scores, you get 1. So I've got 3 points. Disarcy. And Will's already in the mud. Phoenix says Will in the mud. He's like a pig in shit, mate. You know, he's not in the mud. He's basically dead. He's so deep in the mud. He's 6 feet under the mud, in a footballing sense. Absolutely. Get in. That'll do me. Good chat today. Good chat. Yeah, I think Stones and Walker will play tomorrow. Apparently they're reviewing the goal, but I don't see why. He's well onside. He heads it in. I can't see why it would be disallowed, although Jose's trying to say it will be. I think they're trying to say it goes in off his head. Hand. No, it goes in off his head. Oh, they're checking it on it. Oh, this is bloody typical. It doesn't look like it's his hand to me. It looks like it's his head. I think they're going to disallow it. Too long. I've done that. I've done all that dancing for nothing, have I? If they can't tell it's a handball, I think it goes in off his head. No, it's been ruled out. Ah, that is a joke. I think that, you know what? I think that's guesswork. I don't think they can. I don't think that they can. They can't have a clue whether that's hit his head or not. I thought it hit his head. I've already bloody messaged Will as well. I thought it was a goal. Ronan says, what actually happened to Fofana? I think he's injured again. Yeah. I don't think... I think it's been a bad... Look, it's great to have the Premier League back, but it's been a bad day for officiating already. Gordon's second yellow card was a joke for Newcastle. The penalty for Newcastle that Gordon won was a joke. That, I think, is a joke as well. 24 minutes gone. Let me just give you a roundup of the scores. You've probably seen it going round the screen anyway, because we now have that for you. But as you can see, currently it's 1-0 to Luton against Tottenham. It's 1-0 to Palace against Forest. 0-0 Sheffield United Fulham. 0-0 Chelsea Burnley. And 0-0 Bournemouth Everton. Remember, Villa play Wolves at 5:30. But I'm live on the United stand at 8 o'clock for Manchester United's trip to Brentford. We're in London, aren't we? Shirley says, come on, Luton. You can't celebrate goals these days, says Gur. No. You can't. Look, we've had some good comments coming in. What's the funniest way you've been dumped or dumped somebody? I've told you one of mine. I don't think it's that funny. I feel quite guilty about it. But another interesting story was, I was saying about how I went out with this girl and my mate was off with chicken pox. What's the worst thing you've ever done to a mate? And I don't want to get some kinky things about Lego. Like, it's not for your satisfaction. I mean, like, genuinely bad things. Like, don't say, oh, the worst thing me and my mate did is get drunk and do a, oh, shot from Burnley. Straight at the keeper. Lennon says it did come off his elbow. Well, mate, if it came off his elbow, why did they take so long to do it? Yeah, we're not getting Tom Garrett involved. That's the point. It's not meant to be something that you enjoy doing to your mate. The worst thing you've done to your mate, like I said, he was off school for 2 weeks and I ended up going out with his missus. Dan says he's only saying it's not a handball because he has him in Goldbridge. Any other player he's calling a handball. No, mate, I'm not. I'm saying they looked at it about 8 times. It's not clear and obvious then, is it? That's my point. They're not sure about it. That's why they've took so bloody long. T. Davies says, my mate super glued my lips together when I was asleep. Nelly says, slept with his sister 15 years later. He doesn't know, says Nelly. That's bad. Darwizzy says, clear and obvious rule is so stupid. Kirsty says, Luton haven't been very good since the first goal. Draco says, what a mate you are. Yeah, I was 9. I was 9, actually, and that lad ended up leaving our school when he was 10. And we're not mates anymore. So actually, I don't regret it. Swivel on it. I like this sort of thing. I've done this as well. Outlaw says, I nicked his Robin toy and tricked him into thinking it was mine all along. A heinous and deplorable crime indeed. Yeah, I've done that before. It is theft, but there was one of my friends. I say friends. I didn't really like him that much, but his mum got on with my mum, so I'd have to go around his house sometimes, and he just had everything. Like, he had all of the Star Wars, and I only had a handful, and I quite fancied his Boba Fett, so I had it. And then the next day at school, he was like, I've lost my Boba Fett. And I said, are you calling me a thief? That's it. I'm never coming around again. Do you think the PGMOL will screw City versus Arsenal game soon, says Amir. Anthony Taylor, I mean, look, the chances of it happening are quite high because they did it in the Liverpool game. I mean, it's a Stonewall penalty. They've already dictated this this title race. Matt says, Mark, what was your personality like at school? Something tells me you had an answer for everything. I was very shy at school, very, very quiet. Yes, just kept himself out of trouble. Luton scoring early is bad for them because they'll invite pressure, concede and lose. 100%, Nigel, 100%. Completely agree with you. Still 0-0 between Chelsea and Burnley, by the way. What happened to win, lose or draw? I enjoyed it, says Kevin. Mate, I've not been doing it for weeks. I don't do it because I had to miss a couple of weeks of the fill-in, so we couldn't do win, lose or draw, and then I just couldn't be asked to do it, so I stopped doing it. It was good, but I just couldn't be asked. At least I'll be honest, I couldn't be asked with it. I dumped it. Ollie says, I gave a friend a toffee because he had false teeth. Oh, I used to really love toffee, and it literally took a tooth out for me, so I can't eat it anymore. Yeah, I did like win, lose or draw. I just stopped doing it. Burnley with the cutback. Oh, Chelsea will take it away. Valentine says, don't forget PGML, Spurs, Liverpool. Mate, Man City win this league by 1 or 2 points. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. It'll be like, you know, a 20-year-old turning up at my door saying, you're my dad. I'll just slam the door and not acknowledge it. And they can knock all they like because I will just call the police. I'm not acknowledging it. And I will not acknowledge Man City winning the title by 1 or 2 points. Project Philly says no one does anyway. Flight 23 says, I made some mayo on mate's face, leaving his eyes glued. I bet it wasn't mayo. Yeah, likely story. Bet you jizzed on his face, let's be honest. Luton Scory, we've done that one. And Tamrick, I don't think I've missed any super chats, but I will go back because they're all listed. Oh, I've missed this one from Tun. He says, I was at a girl's place once, then a boyfriend I didn't know pulled up on the door and went away crying. We were 18. Oh, you got to feel for him. Got to feel for him. Oh, Tamrick, we did miss it, says, I got dumped for blocking her toilet with a large one. She said she could never look at me the same again. I was actually upset. I'm actually on her side there, Tam. I actually am. If you flip it round the other way, if I'd have been in a relationship and a girl came round my house and we're watching, I don't know, Heat or The Godfather, she says, can I go to the toilet? One, I'd be timing it because I think you can't, I don't want to even know that you defecate, to be honest with you. But you can only go for a piss. Do not go for a dump in my house. And secondly, if they blocked the toilet, you're dumped. You're dumped. I just can't deal with that. So I actually agree with that girl dumping you, Tam. That's a literal, like LFC Gamer says, that's a literal dump. You're getting dumped for your dump. Well done, Tam. Tam got dumped for blocking up his missus's toilet with a big one. A literal dumping. I'd like to ask, did you enjoy that dump? Dilemma Mark says, Goldio, as a United fan, I want Spurs to lose. However, if Spurs win, my bet comes through for 2,000. Not sure how to feel. Your bet's going to come in, Goldio. So don't worry about that. Obviously, I want Luton to win, but your bet will come in. The amount of times Spurs have been losing at home this season and then end up winning is not even a joke. They almost do it every game. So Tottenham will definitely win that game. Statistically, they have... I mean, look at this. They've had 5 shots to Luton's 2, and they've had 72% possession. And that will go up more and more in the second half. Chelsea, Mudryk. Crap shots. Absolute crap. Crap. Should do a lot better there. Yellow card for Gusto. I don't think that's a yellow. I really don't. Pratt says, last season Arsenal were robbed of 5 points by the PGML. Against United and Brentford, the run-in with 13 points led instead of 8. Might have been a little different. Yeah, it could, Pratt Mahash, but, you know, you got your chance tomorrow to put it right. You can't keep living in the past. David says Spurs game is a better game. But David, if it's 1-0 to Luton with half an hour to go and Chelsea get a couple of goals, we can switch to that. But at the moment, I just think I'll jinx it. Although Burnley have been better, haven't they? I mean, that's the top of the table at the moment. Chelsea got no chance, have they? Absolutely no chance, Chelsea. This is where Chelsea live, look. 40 points. But Burnley, Sheffield United are down. I'd say Burnley are down as well. But Forest in the bottom 3 as well. Bloody hell. That's because of their points deduction, isn't it? The bottom of that table's a joke, really. Hey, I was watching. I was looking at that. Let me just have a look at that. Everton 26, Brentford 26, Luton 25, Crystal Palace obviously pulling away with their win against Forest at the moment. It's quite a big day down the bottom then, isn't it? Everton are playing Bournemouth, who are obviously safe. 0-0 there. Burnley, obviously Chelsea, 0-0 here. Sheffield United at home to Fulham. Fulham very safe as well. So keep an eye on those. Luton in the Premier League about as useful as a vegan at a barbecue, says Goldio. And can't find good friends. Thank you for the smiles, says Why Not Jack. Thank you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Wayne List says how I'm port those not given penalties versus Spurs now. I don't think you wrote that correctly. And Liam says, I think this is a friend one. So Liam 021 says, I went to Amsterdam in January with 2 mates and I came in one of my mates' protein shakes. Went to Amsterdam with 2 mates and I came in one. Oh, God. Well, there is a lot of protein in cum. That's what not what I've said. I've heard people say that to their girlfriends before as a you know, a positive of potentially tasting it. But not me, not my words. So Liam boosted the protein share. I mean, Liam, in a way, I've got to be honest, if I was one of your friends and I found that out, I'd want you to get arrested. That basically that's filth. That's absolutely disgusting. Yeah. Yeah. Weghorst just got an assist against Leverkusen, says Colin. Leverkusen are playing a game of football today against Hoffenheim, and it's 1-0 to them. You'd be very surprised if Leverkusen didn't win that. What on God's earth, says Sean McGovern. Exactly. Liam, that's backfired big time. Whatever happens on holiday stays on holiday, says Tom. Yeah, but you know what? In defence of Liam, he says, I went to Amsterdam in January with 2 mates and I came in one of my mates' protein shakes. He doesn't say that his mate doesn't know. You know, it's not worth picturing, but what if he was there adding a topping to the protein shake and his mate was like, yes, let's do it. It could be consensual at the end of the day. Still only 2 goals in the Premier League, 3 kickoffs. Forest are losing 1-0 at home to Crystal Palace, and Luton are beating Tottenham 1-0 at Tottenham. I'm sure we're going to get a lot more goals coming in, but there we go. Why are people saying these things? We've got 2 ongoing conversations here. 1, what's the funniest way you've been dumped or dumped somebody? And 2, what's the worst thing you've done to a mate? I'm sure some of these are going to end up on TikToks. Clip away. That's what I say. I'm not jealous. I'm not possessive. And as long as it's about somebody in the chat, even better. Oh, Mudryk. No, you're not going to get a penalty for that. Favourite French-Russian film? Mezrine is on ITV, says Dalk. Is he given a penalty? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I just despair. I just despair. These refs, mate. It's sickening. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. Come on. Mudryk is through and he's gone down under absolute minimal contact. I mean, it's incredibly. It's a dive. It's just not a penalty, really. It's just, if you watch the game, you know that's not a penalty. Look, if you're Chelsea, fair play, you take it. But oh my God. Absolute terrible. Basically, Mudryk's knocked the ball into the box and the player's sort of reaching out a little bit on him. There is a little bit of contact, but Mudryk goes down like a bloody butterfly's fart. It's just not a penalty. It's just not a penalty. I'm sorry. It's just not a penalty. They need to review that. They need to review that. It's clearly and obviously not a penalty. They're going to give it as well. They give him a red card. They've given him a red card. How? What is a second yellow? Oh my God. He's just destroyed the game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mash says there's contact. Just because there's contact doesn't mean it's a bloody penalty, mate. It's not a tackle. It's a shoulder barge at best. They didn't give something similar to Rashford with Walker, says Les. How is that a pen when a kick to the chest isn't, says Xander. He sent Company off as well. Oh, this ref needs bloody locking up. He needs locking up, this ref. Bloody Billy Big Bollocks again. Look, who I don't know your name, mate. I don't know your name. Send somebody else off. I don't even know the name of the referee. It's always about them, isn't it? The referee show. Fucking hell. I mean, I'm not Burnley's biggest fan, and I'm certainly not Company's biggest fan, but what a joke. And he sent him off as well. And the penalty's been given. Absolute terrible. Oh, that's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They've ruined it. I mean, that's game over as well. You know, Chelsea with 10 men. Burnley with 10 men. So the game's gone, says Lee. This week VAR and these refs are getting exposed, says Ian. Yeah, but nothing ever happens. This is what I mean. I talk about it on the podcast every week. Goldbridge saves football. The officiating in this country is a joke, and nobody does anything about it. It just carry on week in, week out. Same old shit. Good penalty by Cole Palmer. He's just dinked it down the middle. But it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. If you didn't see the West Ham penalty, that's 100 times worse than that. And that's not a penalty for Chelsea. Not a penalty at all. But I don't support Chelsea. I don't support Burnley. And yet I feel disgusted by it. I have no horse in the race. It matters not to me who wins this game. I would expect Chelsea to win it, and I'm absolutely fine with that. But it's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. The officiating this week is disgusting. I am going to switch to the Spurs game because there's just no point in not doing it. Let me see if I can get the score changed. Yeah, well, that's game over now. Burnley are down to 10 men as well, which is... Why is he giving him a second yellow card for that, by the way? What's he giving him a second yellow card for? I mean, look, it's not a penalty, but why is he giving him a second yellow card? That to me is the baffling thing as well. Have we had any other goals? No. Still 1-0 to Palace against Forest and 1-0 for Luton against Tottenham. Conor Gallagher's just picked up a yellow card here. I've got no idea. I mean, Conor Gallagher's just picked up a yellow card for winning the ball. Absolute shit. Absolute shit. I'm telling you, make sure you listen to Goldbridge Saves Football on Tuesday, because I'm going to absolutely unload on this again. Disgusting. Disgusting. I tell you what, some of these refs must have had a good Friday, because they're still pissed. Swap along, change the stats. Yeah, we're going to do it, Fennec. Don't worry, we'll do it at half time. £1 billion to support Liverpool. Are you doing it? I'll take your £1 billion to support Liverpool. I mean, in my heart, I'll never support Liverpool. But if you want me to say I support Liverpool for £1 billion, I think we'd all do it. But, you know, I'm still going to be watching Man United. This week, VAR and these refs are getting exposed, says Emi. And Nigel says VAR is an absolute joke. How is that a penalty when a kick to the chest isn't, says Xander. And they didn't give something similar to Rashford. Xander, yeah. Predicting Onana will get a red for tying his lace, says Ruben. Mark, how do you think Thomas Frank has a chance to be the next Liverpool manager? I think it would be a solid hire and he could win us a few trophies. Sully, I would love Liverpool to appoint Thomas Frank because that'd be the end of Liverpool's reign. Absolutely no. Welcome to the Premier League where the refs don't care, says Dan. Yeah, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, I'm trying not to get stressed by it because I don't actually care either way. Shadow says it was a penalty but never a red. He got a second yellow for it, mate. He got a second yellow for it, which was disgusting in itself. Can you switch to Bournemouth-Everton game, says Goldio. And the whole refereeing structure needs to be booted out and VAR needs to be dropped. You can't even celebrate a goal properly, says Nigel. Look, I'm not appointing myself as anything, but we have a podcast called Goldbridge Saves Football. I'm sure some of you have listened to it. I've said it before and I'll say it again here. If I was Howard Webb, I would go to the Premier League and say we need to switch it off. The Championship works absolutely fine. We need to switch it off for at least 18 months and we need to have a strategic review into everything that's gone wrong this season because the league has got no integrity. There's too many games being ruined by, what are incompetence. We need to switch VAR off. We need to go back to just not having VAR. And we need to re-implement better technology, better qualified people, and the PGMOL needs to be held accountable and needs to be independent because it's corrupt. It's corrupt. It's not definitely corrupt, but what I'm saying is there's no accountability. I couldn't believe watching Michael Owen and Howard Webb talking about the McAllister penalty by Doku, and they're basically just lying on TV. Lying. Like, oh, yeah, it was subjective. It was 50-50. Fuck off, it wasn't. You're trying to tell people what the story is. It wasn't subjective. It wasn't 50-50. Everybody knows it was a bloody penalty. Even Man City fans expected a penalty. I can't believe in the year 2024, the biggest game in the world, certainly the biggest game in England, is being dictated to by dictators who just decide what they want to do. And they haven't got a bloody clue what they're doing. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And the mainstream, the ex-players, the pundits, they're all in the pocket of the PGMOL and the Premier League as well. They don't say anything about it because they all meet up in the same meeting once a month and back each other up. It's absolute shit. And it's the fans who are the shit on the shoe of football again. They just go, let them moan. We're not going to change anything. We're in control of this game. It's a dictatorship, pure and simple. He got a second yellow for dissent, says Akshay. And I'm a Chelsea fan and I think it's very, very harsh. Giving the second yellow a penalty and then a red to Company is crazy. Ref has lost his head, says Spanner. Yeah, but Michael Oliver's a terrible referee and he still keeps getting the biggest games. Anthony Taylor is a terrible referee, still keeps getting the biggest games. If you listen back to the audio of the McAllister Doku penalty, Michael Oliver is shouting at VAR, not a penalty, no way, not a penalty, they both come together. Shut up, Oliver, that's not your job. Bullying the people in the VAR room before they've even looked at it. Keep your gob shut. You're not bloody perfect, but this is the way it's run. And you know what? The people in the VAR room, they're going, Ollie. His name's Michael Oliver. Why are you calling him Ollie? Why do you know his nickname? It's corrupt to have a situation where the people in the VAR room are friends with the fucking referee. Appoint specialists who never meet. Like, I don't need to know the referee. The rules of football are easy. I don't need to be a mate of the referee on the pitch. In fact, I would rather they weren't mates because then you'd have integrity. There'd be no friendship. There'd be no backing your mate on the pitch. It's a nonsense. The whole thing's a bloody nonsense. And it's been a nonsense all season. Disgusting. Anyway, it's half-time between Chelsea and between Burnley. We're going to go Spurs-Luton second half because Chelsea-Burnley's over, obviously, 10 men. Absolute nonsense. Yeah, if I was in that VAR room for the Liverpool-Man City game and I've got Michael Oliver in my ear going, no way, not a penalty, they both come together, I'd say, shut it. Go and wait in the middle of the pitch and keep your gob shut. When I want you to talk, I will ask you to talk. You've made your decision. Now the expert's going to have a look at it. And then I'd mute it and I'd say, find out that's a penalty because I want that idiot to be sat down like the big gobby idiot he is. And I'd go, penalty, 100%. I'd go, oi, Ollie, listen to this. You got it wrong. It's such an obvious penalty. Stevie Wonder could see it. You're wrong. And this is going to get played by Howard Webb in a couple of weeks. Your mum does your hair. You've got it wrong in a massive game. And I think that you probably should get demoted to the National League. You prat! Leave it at that. That would be good. Anas says, arm tugging him back. Madrick diving forward, says Anas. Mate. Well done. It was a dive by... Look, I don't blame Mudryk for taking the tumble. I don't blame Chelsea for getting the penalty. This is why I've said this before. I think I shocked a lot of people when Liverpool had that onside goal not given, because I came out and said that's a joke, and people were like, "Whoa, he's a Man United fan. Why is he saying that?" Because this is not about, it's not about the colour of the jersey. It doesn't matter whether it's Man United, Chelsea, or Liverpool. It's about the integrity of the game. And as the Manic Street Preachers once sang, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. And what we are having in football at the moment is the integrity of the game eroded week on week. The quality therefore goes down. and we all need to champion this together. Look, Chelsea got away with it. It's not Chelsea's fault. We shouldn't have Chelsea fans coming in defending the referee, because next week you'll be on the end of it. It will happen to all of you. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, everyone's going to get it. It happened to West Ham again today. If you are Chelsea, you've just got to go, we got away with it, we'll take it. But actually, the integrity of the league and the consistency of the bad decisions is cheating everybody. It's cheating absolutely everybody. What do you think of Elkie Doherty at left back for England at the Euros? Says Daniel. Don't think he's got a chance in hell. Not because I wouldn't do it, but because Southgate won't do it. Channel E says disagree with Gordon penalty in the Newcastle game. Players will now just throw their feet in front of defenders. Clearance kick. Gordon had zero control. Says Channel. Yeah, if you've not seen the penalty that Newcastle get at 3-1, it's the worst penalty I've seen this season. Anthony Gordon literally just puts his foot in front of Calvin Phillips, who's about to clear the ball. Calvin Phillips goes to kick the ball and Anthony Gordon just put his foot in front of him. It's not a penalty. If anything, it's a foul by Anthony Gordon, and it gets Newcastle back into the game. It's disgusting. Spanner said Chelsea fan not very giving the second heart. Yeah, I've done that one. What other watch-alongs are you doing, says James Gaming Studio. Man United, Brentford tonight at 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow I'm doing Liverpool, Brighton and the big one, Man City against Arsenal. The refs need to lose their jobs, says Cameron. Well, there's never bloody any accountability, is there? Absolute joke. I'm not doing the Midlands Derby at 5:30. No, HLF. LQ says nonsense. That's a penalty. Gordon is quicker and gets there first. Phillips is unlucky and too slow. Definite penalty. What? What? How is it a penalty? He doesn't touch the ball. He literally reaches forward to put his leg in front of Calvin Phillips. That's not a penalty, mate. He literally puts his leg in front of Calvin Phillips. He doesn't win the ball. He puts his leg into Calvin Phillips' space. It's a foul on Calvin Phillips. How can that be a stonewall penalty? Idiotic interpretation. You can't just stick your leg in front of someone when at the end of the day you're tripping Calvin Phillips. He doesn't get the ball, mate. If he puts his leg in front and he wins the ball and Calvin Phillips kicks in, it's a penalty, but he doesn't get the ball. It's not a penalty, sorry. All this talk about the PGMOL has me sweating my boots for us tomorrow against City, says Anas. Thank you very much for that. Mark, we all agree with you, says CV. Well, no, yeah. I'm not hating on Chelsea, says Bob. No, I mean, it's the officiating. Look, I get the fact that there will be Chelsea fans coming in here with their blue-tinted glasses backing the referee because it benefits them. And look, that's an indication on how bad Chelsea are this season, that they need a dodgy penalty and 10 men against Burnley to win at home. I mean, it's embarrassing on Chelsea's part that they can put aside, corrupt referees because they might get 3 points at home to Burnley. But that's how far Chelsea have fallen this season, because they're struggling, aren't they? But, if we get a penalty for that this afternoon or this evening, I'll probably celebrate it. But deep down, I'll know the bloody truth that it's not a penalty. Are they going to get over the mid or under mid-table is the question. Well, they're into the top half of the table at the moment, Chelsea. They will win today. They'll have 42 points. So well done to them for that. We're obviously going to be focusing on Tottenham versus Luton in the second half. I just want to apologise to Luton fans straight away. I will jinx the shit out of this. Spurs are definitely going to win. I thought that anyway, but Spurs are definitely going to come back in this second half, no doubt about it. So we will be covering that one in the second half there. Emiliano says, shut up, Manchester United fan. Emiliano, go fuck yourself. We can all give it out. And all this talk about, I've done that one. Kurt Fernandez, thank you very much. Don't think you can come in here, Emiliano, with your abuse and not get it back tenfold. It ain't a free hit. It's not a one-way street. You're not walking down a one-way street. Traffic's coming back at you. So get on the pavement. The officiating today is absolutely rubbish, says Piao. And would you rather have an unlimited gift card to your favourite restaurant or a favourite shop? Anas, that's just completely weird. Don't care. People can have that in their chat. Remember in the first half, before PGMOL ruined another game, we were talking about what's the funniest way you've been dumped or dumped somebody. So let's bring a bit that back into it. Mark, also kudos goal shouldn't have been goal because there's a head injury. Mate, I can only comment on what I see, and I didn't watch all of that game. I just saw those. JRD says, Emiliano, your mum does your hair. And I need to change the title here, yeah. Sorry, we're on Tottenham Luton now. Tottenham versus Luton. Let's change the title. There we go. Mark's upcoming video, Burnley being robbed. Robert Peacher says, not all of us Chelsea fans are celebrating poor officiating. It takes away from a win when it feels like the ref gave it to you, says Robert. Well, one thing I will say is that Pochettino must be over the moon with that. You know, he's got a lot of pressure at the moment, and that obviously alleviates a bit of pressure on him, isn't it? Getting a win. Guess who Man United have got next, by the way? Chelsea. Chelsea next Thursday at the Bridge. Bring your referees. I've lost the chat here. Okay, I'm back now. Okay. Mark, what position do you think Spurs will finish at the end of the season, says Vedant? I think Spurs will win this game second half, and I think Spurs will. I think Spurs are best equipped to get fourth place. They're 6 points ahead of Manchester United. They've got no Europe, which I think helps them as well. I don't know. I wouldn't say it definitely. I mean, look, the Fulham game was an eye-opener when Spurs lost, but I think that they probably will get fourth place. Surely Howard's web job must be under scrutiny, says UK Red. Well, no, it won't be, mate. Nobody's job's under scrutiny. I mean, Michael Oliver and other referees have had horrific decisions. That referee in the West Ham game should be down to the Championship before 6 o'clock tonight. He won't be. He'll probably get the biggest game next week. There's never any accountability. They don't get rid of them. Leverkusen are still losing, says Curtis. Yeah, well, look, there's not that long to go in that game. Leverkusen are losing at home to Hoffenheim, and there is only 14 minutes to go. Fade says, Mark, my girlfriend. Mark, your girlfriend what? Callum says, Cole Palmer, best young player in the world. I don't have a favourite referee because referees should be seen and not heard. The fact that we know their bloody names tells you where the problems are going. Shadow says, Leverkusen are battering them. Mark, are you on clubs tonight at 10 o'clock with the lads? I won't be on at 10 o'clock. Because I'll be doing match reaction, won't I, to United? But I could potentially drop on afterwards. You've got to get the invite first. Ginge invited me on yesterday, but I was busy, so we'll see. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on 123,000. We're 50 short of 124,000, so Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can hit that. Just about to start the timer here for the second half. I've got a lovely dinner tonight. What are you having for dinner tonight, everyone? Fish tacos for me. Oh, I'll tell you what, it just reminded me. I had something in the pub last night to eat, and... oh, here it is. That's what it was. Sweet potato on okonomiyaki. They're savoury Japanese pancakes, and this sweet potato tastes just as good. Really nice. I'm gonna make them. I'm salivating. Salivating at that. Yeah, please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. What's your favourite type of cuisine, Mark? I'd probably say Italian. I'm eating a lot better now because I have to. I'm sort of moving into that era where I've eaten badly for probably 30 years. So I avoid sweets and stuff now. And I tell you what, I never do this. When I go out to a pub or something, I always have a steak or a burger or, you know, a pizza or something like that. Last night I had salmon. And I do like salmon, but I'd never, ever have it at a pub. And it was really nice. Who's your favourite player at Spurs right now, says Ali. Always Son. Always Son, yeah. Great player. Fish tacos is not a euphemism, no, Mr. Titration. Although, with the best will in the world, you just don't know. Do you think we'll see Apple buy the TV rights to all the biggest leagues in the same way they distribute the MLS, says Connor? Be interesting to see what happens with the TV. But this is going to be a long half for Luton. I think Spurs win this. Will yesterday and United today, we in London, says a Turo. Yeah, I'm 90% sure that Spurs win this game, even though they're losing 1-0 at the moment. I just think it'll be too straightforward for them to do it. Veghorst got an assist against Leverkusen, says JXI. Mario, I haven't missed it. I just got to go back through them all. Here we go. Stories of Rob Edwards to United if Luton wins. Yeah. You're not wrong. Hessen says, I'm looking forward to Watchalong for the City game, but out of the choice of any player, past or present, can you name one for an edit? Good player for an edit. Oh, God, there's so many to choose from. Ronaldinho. Goldbridge in for girth and turf, says Fennick. I'll have to see if I get the call up tonight. I don't know why this dropped into my head, actually. That is such a random thing. I can't even say it. It's so random, actually. I'm not going to say it. Ronaldinho is better than Messi, says Penal. Do you eat turkey for Easter, says Ian? No, it's normally lamb in this country. Madison. No. I mean, what is this? Oh, hold on a minute. There's the Spurs lineup for you. I was just going to say, have we got the correct team news up on the screen for you? So, Spurs losing 1-0 at the moment, but such a strong team, Spurs, that they can put out at the moment. Vicario, Porro, Romero, Dragusin, Udogie, Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison, Kulusevski, Werner and Son. They made a change at half-time with Kulusevski coming off for Johnson. Not having a good. I really like I really like Kulusevski, but he's not having a great season. Luton, Kaminsky, Kapoor, Burke, Mengi, Doherty, and then they've got Berry, Barkley, and Penza, and Townsend, Morris, and Chong. And at the moment, they're doing very, very well. Mazza says there's going to be 4 second-half Spurs goals. Apparently, Burnley have scored. They have as well. They bloody have as well. It's 1-1. Wow. Wow. Burnley have scored, and it's right at the start of the second half, and it's Cullen to make it 1-1. We got a Spurs goal as well. I'm just looking at the Burnley. It's a good goal by Burnley. Very good goal by Burnley, by the way. But we've got a Spurs goal literally just gone in. Told you. What did I tell you? And it's interesting because they just had a chance themselves, Luton. Could be an offside. Porro could have been offside. But it's an own goal, actually. Cross came in from Porro. And put into his own net on the back post. He's got to do something. He's got Timo Werner behind him. I think Porro looked offside. But they're not looking at that. They're not looking at the first pass to Porro. They're looking at something completely different. So he must have been onside. Yep, given. So, own goal. Best decade for film and French, favourite French and Russian films, says Dal. I don't know, mate. I don't watch French or Russian films. You've asked me twice. I don't watch them. Porro looked offside, though. Weird. Yeah, I thought that. But obviously he's not. They didn't even... it was Johnson anyway, not Porro. Hassan says he's looking forward to the Watchalong and he's going to work on Ronaldinho now. Good luck for tonight. Thanks, Hassan. Most of my friends are Chelsea fans, but at some point it isn't funny anymore, says Chris. They'll still win that. They'll still win that. And Spurs will obviously win this one. An own goal can't be offside. Oh, Ryan. A little bit of knowledge is dangerous. The pass to the right back looked offside. That player then goes on and puts the cross in for a goal that goes for an own goal. The pass to him can be offside, mate. That's what people are talking about. The pass that goes out wide before the cross comes in. Offside in the build-up, exactly. More of the songs you love. Magic. Make me a winner. Oh, lovely play. This is... Oh, he's done it. I think he nearly did it again. He nearly did it again. Another cross came in and he nearly put it in his own net again. Nearly 2 OGs for Kabor. Bloody hell. Goal for Spurs was an OG for Kapori. Or Kabor, however you pronounce it. Make me a winner. Has anyone ever seen that, actually? You probably get it in different formats in your own country, but we've got a radio station called Magic Radio, and they have this competition called Make Me a Winner, where basically your phone goes and you have to answer it with Make Me a Winner. And if you answer your phone with Make Me a Winner and they phone you up, then you can win quite a lot of money. It's thousands. Sometimes it's like 100,000. But there's a funny side to this because I didn't realise that my aunt does it. She does it. She will pick up the phone with "Make me a winner" because she wants to do it. I always think, what prat picks their phone up and goes "Make me a winner"? But obviously people do it, and of course this is a red rag to a bull because certain people in my family, i.e. me, like a bit of banter. So we just ring her up a lot. I'm working up the courage to just pretend I am Magic Radio. That would be even funnier. Imagine that, ringing her up. "Make me a winner." "You're live on Magic Radio. You've just won £492,000. Go and spend it quickly. Go on. See you later. Bye." Yeah, Zemish is an arsehole. He says you should pretend she won. Look, it'd be a great story if I did that. I think it would be very, very harsh. I just quite like ringing her up. And her going, "Make me a winner." But you have to do it on a private number. Oh, Son's missed another chance. They're going to get battered here, Luton. They're going to get battered here. Yeah, as somebody just said, that's mean. Says Caden. And as I said at the start, you know, I'm not. It's just banter. You know what? I think one of the worst things I've ever heard of banter was that one who, it's just brilliant. It makes me laugh thinking about it. Leverkusen have just equalised, by the way. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. The National Lottery used to be a lot more popular than it is. Even I used to buy a ticket. So every Saturday night you'd have the National Lottery show, and they'd do the draw for the numbers. Yeah. So this lad basically went to the shop and bought the lottery ticket numbers, but he did it based on the numbers from the week before, and he played the video from the week before in front of his family, and they thought they'd won the lottery. The point is, when do you tell the truth, and how much do people believe it? We've had a goal here. Sheffield United are winning 1-0 against Fulham. The weird Premier League continues because Fulham was so good against Spurs, yet they're losing. It's Brereton Diaz for Sheffield United with an assist from McBurney to make it 1-0 to Sheffield United at home to Fulham. I mean, I don't think there's much chance of Sheffield United surviving, but they are winning at home to Fulham. Leverkusen have scored in the 90th minute, I think, against Hoffenheim. 88th minute. Andrik. But in fairness to Leverkusen, they had 35 shots to 6 and 11 shots on target to 2. So it's not that they don't deserve something out of that game. Thanks everyone who's subscribed, by the way. I think we have hit 124,000. Just going to check now. No, we're 10 away. 10 away. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're very welcome. Massive summer coming up as well. We're going to be doing all the Euro matches again. And also massive few weeks. Champions League quarterfinals next week. Obviously semi-finals all the way through to the final few weeks of the Premier League. Lots and lots to get into. Leverkusen are actually winning now. They're going to win the league. They're going to win the league. Poor old Harry Kane. Schick has scored. I remember when he was like considered an option for Manchester United. They're going to win the league, you know. They're going to win the league. I think we've got a goal coming in the Premier League. We have. They weren't winning for long. Fulham have equalised against Sheffield United. The goal scorer is... I don't think we've got the goal scorer at the moment. 1 minute. Palina, assisted by Pereira. 1-1. Fulham have equalised. Do you feel sorry for Harry Kane? Oh, yeah. I feel sorry for one of the world's best strikers who's on loads of money to play the game I'd love to play. Yeah, I feel really sorry for him that he's not going to win a title. Look, the bottom line is, it's not really the Harry Kane curse because Bayern Munich shouldn't have won the league last year. I mean, people forget that Dortmund would have won the league last year. It was the final game of the season. All Dortmund needed to do was win. They were at home and they lost. So Bayern Munich were very lucky to win the league last year. So it's not that they are dominating. I know they have been dominating, but it's not a surprise that Bayern Munich are a bit vulnerable. Dortmund bottled it. They did. They bloody did. Ooh, stretch. Forest have equalised as well. Goals are coming in thick and fast now. They were 1-0 down against Palace. They can't afford to be losing home games, especially when Palace are down there with them. And Spurs nearly scoring again. They're creating so many chances, especially from that right-hand side. Yep, it is. I'm just looking at the lineup for Crystal Palace today. Ayew, Eze, Mitchell, Matata. Dean Henderson up against a club he was on loan at. Luton aren't going to hang on here for much longer. Wood, Chris Wood. I've got some wood for you. Still 0-0 between Everton and Bournemouth, by the way. He could do with some wood. But yeah, 1-1. Wood for Forest. Leverkusen are winning, says Mark. Very slow sports news there. Bournemouth have scored. They're all going in now. Bournemouth have scored at home to Everton. Terrible result for Everton if that goes that way. On a really bad run of form at the moment. And it's Solanke apparently who scored for Bournemouth. Should get confirmation coming through. Still half an hour to go here. Sorry. What was I going to do? I was going to do that. That's what I wanted to do. Don't forget, we do have our slide now, which shows you all the scores. As you can see, Bournemouth leading 1-0 now. Don't forget, you can get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news for free on the OneFootball app. Links in the description or scan the QR code. Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring our stats carousel. Get all your information there for you as well. Quick goal updates, the lot. Bournemouth have scored, by the way. You saw it was 1-0. And it's Solanke who has scored, assisted by Kelly. Well done, Kelly. The goals are coming in now, says Wisdom. It's not R. Kelly. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not R. Kelly. Burnley dominating this second half, says ABC 123. Well, Chelsea, to be fair, the Chelsea fans who were celebrating a dodgy penalty are probably getting a bit of justice here. Thoughts on Keith Chegwin, says Rob. A little bit before my time, really. I mean, I know who he was. Good shot by Luton and a good save by Vicario from the edge of the box. Clark with it. Sheffield United are winning again here. So many goals going in. It's 2-1 Sheffield United now. Get Solanke in that England squad, says Andre. Oh, I'm hoping Tony's not going to deliver tonight. You can tell he'd just be so pumped up to deliver in a game like that. Put himself in the shop window. 100%. You can see it coming a mile off, man. Mile off. Newcastle penalties a disgrace, says Ernie. I had honestly, genuinely forgotten about Sheffield United being a Premier League club. I think in my mind I've already filed them under Championship, says Lee. Well, they're fighting. Sometimes miracles can happen. As R. Kelly did sing, I believe I can fly, and maybe Sheffield United are feeling the same. In no way am I saying they're like R. Kelly. I'm just saying that they might believe they can fly up the league table. It's McBurney. They've reversed it. Brereton Diaz scored the first goal with an assist from McBurney. McBurney scores the second goal with an assist from, yes, you've guessed it, Brereton Diaz. Thank you very much. So we've had goals in all the games now. In fact, the only team not to score is Everton, who are away to Bournemouth. Everybody, 4 of the games, both teams have scored, apart from the Bournemouth-Everton game where it stays 1-0. There, 1-0. VAR needs newest computing scan, everything under seconds. My dad used to be maths and physics researching. He used to run his theory into a PC, says Alex. Thank you very much for that. Spurs been putting a lot of crosses in. They'll find a way. They will find a way. Sheffield United are 3-1 up now. What's going on in this Premier League? Incredible. 3-1 to Sheffield United. It was 0-0 at half-time. We've only just hit the 70th minute. And it's 3-1. And it's Brereton Diaz again. Well, Sheffield United. Let's have a look at that league table. It just went past. That was too quick. Come back. Come back. I sound like that bloody Kate Winslet. Come back. She deserved to die in that film. 17 points Sheffield United would have. They'd still be 5 from safety. They're down. They're down. But at least they're giving themselves a chance. They're cooking, says Fennick. Phil Mitchell says harsh. No, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think it's the worst ending to a film ever. Was that Rose, Kate Winslet, survived in the Titanic. I was really hoping the boat wouldn't come back, and she'd freeze on that door. You can say it's harsh, but I believe what I believe. If you've not seen the end of Titanic, her and her boyfriend Jack, they go into the water. He saved her life about 5 times. 5 times. He gets her up on the door, out of the freezing water, and he has a little look to get on. And you can tell she gives him them eyes. Don't even think about it. And then she just says, hold my hand. And he's like, I'm going to die. And she's like, I don't care, I'm cold, hold my hand. And he dies, and then she wakes up after a nice little sleep, realises he's dead, says thanks for everything you've done, lets him go, lets him sink, and then grabs a whistle and starts going, come and help me, I'm getting bored. And they fucking do help her. I really wanted her not to survive. Selfish, upper class, posh prat. And look, let's be honest, that ain't a woman lying on her door being saved by a man and then letting him sink and die. That is actually the biggest obvious analogy ever, whereby it's the upper class shitting on the lower class. That's what that is. So I don't see it as Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. I see it as upper class, lower class. Oh, you lie on the door and survive, and the lower class will sink and die. So, yeah. I might be in the minority, but I wanted Rose to die in the Titanic, freezing to death on that door. That would have been justice, but we didn't get it. We didn't get a happy ending. No, I didn't celebrate when Bambi dies. There's a very big difference between an innocent mother being shot by a farmer, Bambi's mum, not Kate Winslet, and a posh prat not moving aside to let a working class hero get on the door. Titanic 2 should have been about Rose being an upper class serial killer of men she lures in. Yeah, she was a Black Widow, actually, you're right. And you know what? Go back and watch the Titanic with what I've just said there, and you'll really see what a selfish, spoiled, upper class prat that Rose is. She's really up her own self. Even when she's dancing with all the poor people and she does this, hold this. And all she does is bloody stand on her toes. Look, I've done it. Oh, and then they go, oh, but Jesus. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Don't get me started on it. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Rubbish. She's literally on the world's largest door and she can't move aside. You could have got Kate Winslet and James Corden on that door. Anyway, we'll move on. How EPL the best in the world with these rubbish referees, says Bandam. And done that one, thank you. What do you think's the most selfish act in a film, actually, that really annoyed you? It's probably a little bit too niche. Luton on the attack. Come on. Come on, Luton. Come on, Luton. I'd bloody love it if you won this game. You know how I would have survived the Titanic? Like, all those rich people. There must have been someone with a surfboard. I'd have just found a surfboard and literally as the ship went down, I'd have just jumped on top of the surfboard and then I've been on the surfboard. And then anybody that was trying to get on, I'd just go like that. And then when I was away from anybody, and if I got bored, I could stand up and have a stretch. And you could also paddle to the lifeboats really quick. Why didn't she do that on the door? Because it was too bloody big. She couldn't do it. Oh, there's not enough room to get somebody on it, but it's big enough that you can't actually use it as a surfboard because it looks like you're a plane. I can't get my wrist round because it's so bloody big. If that door was small enough for one person, you'd be able to use it as a surfboard and swim. No, she's bloody lying on it like it's a double bed. Boo, 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 come back, come back. I can't be asked to swim. I'm a lazy prat. Don't. Oh, you've set me off now. I can't do this again. The whole last weekend I was talking about it. What if a polar bear came for you? Well, they do live around there, but I don't think there was any land, Parker. Anyway, back to the football. 15 minutes to go here. I don't want to see that Rose story on TikTok later because it's the sort of thing where people get the wrong idea. You know, they start comparing it to Bambi's mum dying or, you know, other sad things like I saw something on TikTok the other day. I'll come back to that in a minute. So it's 1-0 to Bournemouth against Everton. It's 1-1 between Chelsea and Burnley. Ha! How are Chelsea drawing that? Forest are drawing 1-1 with Palace. Sheffield United are winning 3-1 at home to Fulham, and it's 1-1 between Tottenham and Luton. A late Tottenham goal is about as predictable as something very predictable. Let me know in the chat. I saw it on a TikTok today, right? It was somebody, or maybe it was on Twitter. Basically, this woman, now it might be a joke, but if it's not, I hope it is a joke in the sense that it was a mockumentary or something. It starts off with her husband in bed saying, I'm doing this for prosperity. I've only got weeks to live. You know, I'm only in my early 40s. I've got a young family and I want to leave something behind. I love them so much. He's dying of something. I mean, could be, I mean, people say cancer, but it could be anything. It could be an STD or something like that. But he's dying, right? That's not the thing. It then cuts to his wife doing yoga. A promo. She's doing a promo. So he's in bed. He's probably dead now because it's look quite an old clip actually. Looked like it'd been filmed on a Nokia. But he's there in bed doing some like farewell message for his family and her. And then suddenly it cuts to her in a bloody... She's moved on. She's in a bloody crop top and leggings. And she's going, oh, yoga really helped me with my grief. Get in the link in the description and you can get 10% off. I was like, oh my God, this is the world we live in now. Nothing is sacrilege. Like literally anything. You know, we're going to get funerals sponsored soon. You know, celebrities will have their funerals sponsored to make a little bit of more money for their family. It'll be, we'll have live cremations on fucking TikTok at some point. That was genuine. If I made that up, I should do stand up. But that was genuinely true. Everything I've said there was on a clip this morning. I don't know how genuinely true the clip was, but it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all. Unbelievable. Literal footage of him, you know, knocking on heaven's door, to her with a big smile, bending her arse over, going, yoga's really helped me with my grief. Get 10% off now. I was like, God, if there was any justice, she'd be dead. But look, you know, Mark, nobody's talking about Nice. If United get top 4, will we get Champions League? That's why no one to talk. No one's interested, Harry. Leverkusen won. Yeah. We got a goal for Spurs. We knew it was going to come. And yeah, it's gone in. It's gone in. The ball was miles over the line. No. How's that not a goal? How's that not gone in? That looked miles over. It looked in. It really did. Oh. It's not over the line. It's not over the line. Get the clip out. Get the retro Goldbridge clip. That's not over the line. Look at the white bit. Oh my God. It does look like it's over the line. Well, they've got the technology. It's not a goal. It's not a goal. But it looked miles in. I just don't know how that must be the thinnest of white bits. Unbelievable. I want to see that. I want to see that clip back again. It's a big save by the keeper, though. It's obviously not gone over the line, but what I'm saying is it's close. It's very, very close. It's not over the line. I saw that resurfaced. That resurfaced yesterday. Actually, I think EA were asking for the best clip from. It was funny. Even though it was me doing it, I got absolutely bantered by the game. It's 4-1 to Sheffield United against Fulham. This league is weird. It's really, really weird. It's McBurney. McBurney's got 2, but Ayrton Diaz has got 2, and it's finished up there. I've loved this stream today. Some of the conversations we've had, magnificent. Yeah, I needed that TikTok to take my mind off bloody Rose, selfish prat. Come on, Luton. There's plenty of time yet for Spurs to win this. I reckon they'll add on about 50 minutes as well. How do Fulham convincingly beat United at Old Trafford, then go and lose at Sheffield United, says Wayne? Well, not just that. Convincingly go and beat Spurs as well. Yeah, that's not a goal for Spurs, by the way. You can trust goal line technology. You can. Lee Woolsey says, you think that's bad, Mark? Someone had their funeral on World of Warcraft years ago. That's a true story. Look it up. What's that all about? I was in a funeral once and someone's phone went off. I felt for them. I really felt for them. Like the whole, like if a phone goes off in a, if you're doing a training day and your phone goes off, people are sympathetic. Yeah, it was a funeral, and I thought the person was going to get out. I really thought they might be their funeral. Like, it was a really packed out church. Everyone was obviously upset, but it's a funeral, and their phone went off. And if looks could kill, I felt so bad for them. I was like, it was absolutely horrible. I didn't even find it funny because I was the one who called them. But, yeah, it was bad. Colin says, Mark, using your insider knowledge, who is the next Liverpool manager? I ain't got a bloody clue, mate. Oh, look at that. That is, oh my God. That, to me, looks over the line. That does look over the line. But it's not. Chelsea are leading 2-1, by the way. Cole Palmer's scored. I mean, come on. Chelsea fans, you're always going to win that. Fulham has scored as well. Palmer's got another one. What a season he's having, by the way. Raheem Sterling with the assist. But and it's 3-2 Sheffield United against Fulham. Still 5 minutes there. You can imagine Fulham. You could imagine Fulham getting back in. Oh, I'm getting loads of stick in the chat now. That's horrific at a funeral to ring someone up. I didn't. What? Whose fault is it? The person who calls or the person who doesn't turn their phone off? Anyway, I actually wanted to speak to them about something. I wanted to know where they'd parked because I was a bit worried that I might have parked in an area where you only get an hour. Decorva Reed scored for Fulham. Ah! A Burnley scored! Oh my God! Oh my God. Chelsea fans. I agree with that super chat we had before. It gets to a point where it's just not funny anymore. It really does. Chelsea were 1-0 up when Burnley went down to 10 men, and Burnley have scored 2 goals with 10 men. The goal has been scored by O'Shea, and Chelsea fans are going, oh shit, because that is bad news if they do not win that game. Embarrassing stuff for Chelsea. Not John O'Shea, no. VAR's taking a look though, Mark. Yeah, well, I'm surprised we've not had that yet. Matt says Chelsea are a laughing stock. Well, it might not be. It might not be a goal yet. can't imagine why VAR would be looking at that. No, it's been given. It has been given. A keeping error. I'd say it was a keeping error. Everton have scored as well, which means we've got goals in... Everybody has scored today. Every game has had both teams score. Bournemouth 1, Everton 1. And it's an 88th minute goal for Everton. We've got a Tottenham goal as well. On the break... Luton, Luton are so stupid here. It's a goal for Beto. And Luton actually were on the attack. And Spurs have done exactly what I knew they were going to do. And Son has scored this time. On the break from... How many times... Look, how many times has Spurs done this season? I don't know why anybody thought they weren't going to win. I said this after 10 minutes when Luton scored that Spurs would win this. They've done it so many times this season. It's not a coincidence. They always do it. They're behind at half-time at home and they end up winning the game. So Son has scored 2-1 to Luton. Somebody said Chelsea have scored. They haven't. It's still 2-2 there. Luton always bottle it, says Sound of Silence. Jonathan says, you shouldn't have changed the game, Mark. Absolute scenes at Chelsea. Well, I assumed that Chelsea would go and win quite comfortably after that. But obviously not. Bob the Builder says Johnson was offside for Spurs' first goal. Oh, I don't think he was. I genuinely don't think he was. Sterling's just missed a sitter. 14 minutes of added time at Sheffield United and they're 3-2 up against Fulham. You can guarantee there's going to be another goal in that game. Solo's going to win his 2K. Still 5 minutes for Chelsea to get back into this. Timo Sterling says Ab CD. Patrick says Spurs win is not good for Man United's top four. Yeah, but to be honest with you, mate, I don't think this was the game where Man United or Villa would be expecting Spurs to drop points. At home to Luton, you wouldn't expect that. Spurs have got West Ham away next on Tuesday. Forest at home. And then they've got Newcastle away. Arsenal at home. Liverpool away. Burnley at home. Sheffield United away. So I think Spurs will get top four. I think they've got a good enough run in to do it. I think they'll get fourth place. Bournemouth are winning again. The goals are flying in here. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And don't forget, tomorrow we've got Luton. No, we haven't. We've got Brighton at Liverpool. And then straight after that, the biggest game of the season, Man City at home to Arsenal. Colin says, I bet Will's loving the Big Ange comeback. No, he'd love something else from Big Ange as well. And that involves come and back. Bournemouth have scored 2-1. On fire today. On fire today. You could literally watch this stream back and have about 20 viral clips, I think. Absolutely full of it. It's a goal for Bournemouth. And it's Coleman, own goal. I was confused. How is Seamus Coleman scoring goals for Bournemouth? He's done it at the wrong end. And Fulham have equalised. I can't believe it, even though I predicted it. Sheffield United from 3-1 up at home. They're drawing 3-3 with Fulham. Unbelievable stuff here. They've come back in the 90 plus 3. They could still win it. Sheffield United are going down. But, oh my God. You can't be bottling results like this away from home when you're 3-1 up, and it's Muniz again for Fulham. Assisted by Adama Traore. It's 3-3. Will Man United win the league this season, Mark, says Nee. No. There's been around 90 minutes added on today, says Jimmy. What a strike by Muniz. I've not seen it, but apparently it's a good goal. Just relegates Sheffield United, says Patrick. I hope you're doing well, Patrick. What a 3 p.m. game week. It's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We can't... Look, it's been a brilliant day in the Premier League, full stop. 4-3 Newcastle against West Ham. How many goals have we had today in the Premier League? Bloody hell. We've had 7, 10, 14, 16, 22, 27 in 6 games. Oh! Sheffield United have just hit the Denver. They've nearly bloody won it. Burnley, sorry. Not Sheffield United. Burnley just hit the crossbar from a corner. That would have been it. That would have been a moment. I can't wait to play Chelsea on Thursday night, United. We've got to go and win. They're absolute shit. They'll probably play like brilliant against us. We're not even into stoppage time. Rodriguez hits the bar. Chelsea are definitely going to go and win this now. But what a chance. What a chance. And I hate to say this, Chelsea fans, but as things stand, you're back in the bottom half of the table. You're not in the top half anymore. Wow. So we've had 27 goals in 6 games, which means we're averaging 3-point-something goals a game in the Premier League this weekend. Welcome back to the Premier League. It's been incredible. Don't forget, tonight at 8 o'clock, you can tune in on the United stand for Manchester United against Burnley as well. No, not Burnley. Brentford. At Brentford. Why is there not more pressure on Pochettino, says Theo? Because they're too busy bloody putting it on Ten Hag. And actually, we're averaging 4 goals a game. I'm crap at maths. It would be 18, wouldn't it, if there was 3? I'll tell you what, the best thing is, Man United, Brentford, there'll definitely be goals in that because Brentford... There's an 85% chance that both teams score when Brentford play at home. So we're definitely going to get goals in that. 14 minutes added on at Sheffield United. We haven't got the added time in the Chelsea game yet. I haven't seen what they're adding on there. Anyone know what they're adding on at Chelsea? 5 minutes, says Zizi. Boy, big point for Burnley. Considering they spent most of the game... What's the problem with Chelsea, by the way? I mean, I don't know whether we've got any Chelsea fans here. They've probably just gone on a long walk. Trying to find the nearest cliff, but it is incredible, isn't it? It's incredible how crap Chelsea are at home. So many good players. I think it comes down to. I honestly think it comes down to the fact that the confidence is just so low because they don't have a clinical striker. If you look at the stats today for the Chelsea game. They they've had 30 shots to Burnley's 18, and they've had 13 on target, and yet they've only scored 2 goals. So, yeah, I just don't think they've got it, really. Chelsea needs Southgate, says Phil. Southgate's rumours are to silence Ten Hag out as Mark, says Sam Newman. Thanks for the super chat, Sam. Well, Burnley are 3 minutes away from an absolutely incredible draw at the Bridge. How Chelsea have conspired to even let Burnley be in with a chance of getting a draw here is incredible. From 1-0 up against 10 men to 2-2 is just madness, really. But it is what it is. How this Chelsea drew with City is a miracle, says Nitro. Poch needs the sack, says Robbo. Heartbroken as a Chelsea fan, says Janat. Well, as somebody said in the first half, it gets to a point where it's not even funny anymore with Chelsea because it's just so consistent. And the sad thing for Chelsea is that next season's going to be what this season's meant to be. You know, trying to get back in Europe. I thought they'd walk into Europe this year with no European football themselves. Any chance of a WrestleMania watch-along? Hashtag Ultra, says Bradley. I don't watch it. I don't watch the rest. I watch classic wrestling games, but I don't watch. I don't watch it enough. Everton have lost to Bournemouth. Corner to Chelsea. Outlaw says blaming Poch for Chelsea's extensive problems is rather silly, I think. When is WrestleMania this year? Actually, it will be quite good with The Rock. I think Spurs have won. Well, they were always going to win anyway, but... Sheffield United, new bottle jobs. 4-1 up now, drawing. 3-1 up, mate, because it's 3-3. You can't have a goal taken off you. Next week for WrestleMania. Oh, some people are saying next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, I hate the way they do it over 2 nights as well. Forest and Crystal Palace is over. Draw there. Shot over the bar from Madueke for Chelsea. It was 4-1 before VAR. Yes, you're right. Spoon says, Luton, please, mate. No, that's not happening. Chelsea draw. I think I'm going to have to do a match reaction on this. Chelsea in crisis. It feels like like it's got to be said, and it is. It is over between Chelsea and Burnley. It finishes 2-2. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing for Chelsea. Embarrassing that. Really embarrassing. They're still playing between Spurs and Luton, but it's Spurs on the attack. Poch in. Well, they've got Man United next. It's full time in all the games now, apart from Sheffield United Fulham, where it's 3-3, and now Tottenham against Luton is full time as well. 2-1 there. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget, I'm on the United stand at 7:30 for an 8 o'clock kickoff. Brentford against Manchester United. Villa against Wolves obviously is coming up. If Villa win that, Man United have got to beat Brentford anyway. We've got to go and do that. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to do a quick Chelsea reaction as well. Take care. What a show. So many good conversations in there. Really enjoyed it. Hope you did as well. And don't forget, tomorrow we've got a double watch along on here as well. Speak to you all in a little bit. Take care.